Ever wondered how the United States and Russia really stack up militarily? Today, we're breaking down every aspect of these two superpowers: soldiers, technology, strategy, and secrets. We've dug up the most mind-blowing facts to bring you the ultimate comparison. This isn't just about who has more tanks or planes, it's about the strategies and resources that define global power. We'll show you why having more soldiers doesn't always mean you're stronger, and how billion-dollar carriers compare to stealthy submarines. Get ready for 9 intense rounds. Cold, hard facts, no holding back. Forget what you think you know. The reality is wilder than you imagine. Let's dive into the numbers, the power, and the secrets behind the world's two military giants. First up, money. The United States spends over $800 billion a year on its military, more than the next 10 countries combined. This budget funds next-gen stealth bombers, global satellite networks, and fleets of aircraft carriers, technology that deters any direct confrontation. Russia's budget? About $86 billion, still huge, but nearly 10 times less. That forces Russia to be strategic, focusing on hypersonic missiles, advanced air defenses, and nuclear submarines instead of matching the US on every front. The US plays a game of overwhelming power, aiming to be the best in every category. Russia, meanwhile, invests in asymmetric threats, cheaper weapons that can challenge expensive US systems. The US projects power globally. Russia defends its borders and creates powerful deterrence. It's quantity versus quality, brute force versus clever strategy. This spending gap shapes every other comparison we'll make. Let's see how it plays out on the battlefield. Let's talk soldiers. Russia fields over 1 million active troops, mostly conscripts, focused on regional defense and resilience. The US has fewer soldiers, but all are volunteers, highly trained, motivated, and equipped with advanced gear. US troops operate worldwide backed by unmatched logistics. 2 armies, 2 philosophies, global reach versus regional strength. Which would you bet on? Now the navies. The US Navy is unmatched, with 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, floating cities that project power worldwide. Each carrier strike group dominates the skies and seas. No other nation comes close. Russia, instead, relies on nuclear-powered submarines, stealthy, deadly, and hard to find. The US rules the surface. Russia threatens from below. The US Navy is global and offensive, built for power projection. Russia's Navy is defensive, built to protect its homeland and challenge US dominance. Both are formidable, but in very different ways. Air power, where technology goes wild. The US Air Force leads with the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, stealthy, networked, and nearly invisible to radar. Russia counters with the Su-57 and the super-maneuverable flanker family, like the Su-35. The US strikes first with stealth and information dominance. Russia builds a fortress in the sky with agile jets and powerful air defenses. Offense versus defense, stealth versus missile shield. Who would control the air? Let's keep going. On the ground, it's tanks. Russia fields over 12,000 tanks, mostly T-72s and T-90s, rugged, reliable, and built for mass assault. Their doctrine overwhelmed with numbers, using waves of armor to break through defenses. Russian tanks are smaller, lighter, and easier to produce, with autoloaders for rapid fire. The US has about 6,000 tanks, led by the M1 Abrams, heavier, better protected, and packed with advanced tech. Abrams tanks feature composite armor, powerful cannons, and high-tech targeting systems. The US philosophy: fewer tanks, but each is a high-tech powerhouse designed to survive and dominate. Russian strategy: quantity has a quality of its own. Absorb losses, keep pressing the attack. US strategy: use superior range, armor, and firepower to win with fewer assets. It's a classic matchup, horde versus elite. On a modern battlefield, would numbers or technology win? The answer isn't as simple as you think. Let's move to the most terrifying weapons of all. Nuclear weapons. The ultimate trump card. Russia has the world's largest arsenal, just under 6,000 warheads. The US is close behind. Both rely on the nuclear triad: land-based missiles, submarine-launched missiles, and strategic bombers. Russia emphasizes powerful ICBMs and hypersonic delivery systems, missiles that can evade any defense. The US focuses on survivable submarine-based nukes, Ohio-class boomers that can hide for months, ready to retaliate. Russia's strategy: massive, unstoppable land-based missiles as a shield. The US stealthy subs as an insurance policy, plus bombers for flexible response. Both sides ensure mutually assured destruction. If one launches, both are annihilated. Russia develops exotic new weapons to bypass US defenses. The US bets on stealth and second strike capability. It's a terrifying balance. One mistake could end civilization. The nuclear standoff shapes every military decision. Let's look at the invisible war next. Beyond bombs and bullets, there's a war you can't see: technology and intelligence. The US dominates with global surveillance, spy satellites, and cyber capabilities. Total information dominance. US Cyber Command can disrupt enemy networks, shut down power grids, and cripple command systems before a shot is fired. Russia, meanwhile, excels at cyber operations and psychological warfare, hacking, disinformation, and hybrid tactics. Russian hackers are world-class, able to penetrate secure networks and steal secrets. Russia's hybrid warfare blends military action with cyber attacks and propaganda, destabilizing stronger adversaries from within. The US approach: gather all the data, know everything, strike with precision. Russia's approach: disrupt, confuse, and demoralize. It's big data versus big disruption, a battle fought in the shadows. The winner? Hard to say, but both are dangerous. The US military footprint is global. Over 750 bases in 80-plus countries, ready to respond anywhere, anytime. This network lets the US project power, support allies, and deter threats worldwide. It's expensive, but it cements America's role as a global superpower. Russia's presence is smaller and focused, bases in Syria and former Soviet states, aimed at securing its neighborhood and key regions. Russia relies on temporary deployments and special forces to project power abroad. The US acts as global police, Russia as a regional powerhouse. The contrast is stark: global reach versus regional focus. Each posture reflects their ambitions and resources. Which model is more sustainable in the long run? How do these militaries perform in real wars? The US has spent decades in Afghanistan and Iraq, mastering special ops, drones, and precision strikes. This experience honed high-tech, risk-averse warfare. Destroy threats from a distance, minimize casualties. But it raises questions. Is the US ready for a large-scale war against a peer like Russia? Russia's recent wars, Chechnya, Georgia, Syria, Ukraine, are brutal, high-intensity conflicts. Russia uses overwhelming firepower and accepts high casualties, adapting with drones and electronic warfare. The US fights like a surgeon, precise, high-tech, surgical strikes. Russia fights like a sledgehammer, brute force, mass, and attrition. Both methods work, but a direct clash would be catastrophic. Their combat experience reflects their philosophies: tech and precision versus mass and resilience. The world hopes we never see them collide head-on. After 9 rounds, the US leads in spending, technology, and global reach. Its Navy and Air Force are unmatched, but Russia's nuclear arsenal, submarines, and hybrid warfare are formidable. The US seeks overwhelming dominance. Russia counters with strategic deterrence and asymmetric threats. The world balances between these two giants, each with a terrifyingly effective strategy. Which fact surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more mind-blowing comparisons. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.